scratch it up. Music take faster.
Hi, everybody. So I'm going to talk about our product, and Jonathan's going to jump in with the technical side. So originally, we were called Extension FM because we started as a Chrome extension, and with the simple idea that you could go to any site you wanted that had MP3s on it, and you would be collecting a backlog of songs that you could go into and listen to later and save them to a simple database for a listen later solution instead of just bookmarking each song or each site where you had found the song. Then we diversified the product into a full web app, Android app, iPhone app. We also added a site player into the mix. The extension and the web app work hand in hand. So for example, if you are going to go to your favorite music blog, we pulled up Nyler9 here. For those of you from Ireland, you might recognize it. And you can see that the extension has popped up here. It gives you a full playlist of songs that you can listen to, and also the ability to follow the site on Exfm. So you click the follow button. You can start playing songs here. Hopefully.
So quickly, I'll just jump in and say what's happening here. So what this little extension on the client side is scraping this page and looking for anything that might be audio, whether it's a Bandcamp embed or a link or a SoundCloud or directly just a link to an MP3. So once we find that there might be audio on this page, then we pop up the little pop-up. It doesn't come up unless we think that there's audio on this page. And then we scrape the context to try to figure out some of the metadata, the title, the artist, that sort of thing.
And as you can see, if you like what you're listening to, you can click the little heart button. Oh, it should turn red. There we go, it's turned red.
It's a little bit off the screen there. You might want to make it shorter.
Where? And you can see the extension working here that actually works as a play queue as well. It allows you to switch the queue of the songs you're listening to. It allows you to delete songs from your queue. And then when you go back to your profile here, so this is my profile, you can see that I've now loved this song here, and it's going to stay in my profile until I unlove it or it's taken down from its original source. The next thing we have here is the full web app. So as you can see, there's the profile. You have the ability to follow other users here. So these are the people I've followed. And once you follow them, all the songs that they continue to love come into your feed, and it updates as they love songs. So it gives you the ability to follow trusted users and listen to their music as it comes in. And as I said before, I had followed Nyler's site, so it will go into my sites page somewhere in here, and I can continually listen to that, and all the songs that he puts onto his site will also update into my feed. You also have the ability to explore music without the extension in a fully curated site. So every day we offer you a new site that we visited and curated. You can listen to that. You can also listen by genre, so you can go into each genre if you want to listen to electronica today, and that updates by the most popular songs as loved by our users. So let's say I want to listen to this Daft Punk song, I really like it. It's now part of my profile. You can also explore by a featured album. This week it's Chance the Rapper's new album. And you can also explore by Tastemakers Feed, which is a curated feed of what we feel are the top music bloggers and top sites on the internet. As they update, it updates into this feed, so it's a nice way to press play and see what kind of new music is on the web and love songs as you go along into your profile.
So yeah, so I think earlier today there were a couple of talks where people were talking about, there's all this music out there, how do you discover it? And really what we're trying to solve that same problem for people here by allowing you to follow other people's music recommendations and for you yourself to publish your music recommendations as your Exfm profile page, basically. So if I'm a fan of the music that Jessica tends to like, I can follow her on Exfm, and then from my Android phone or my iPhone or from the web app, I can just sort of subscribe to her music and come back to it at any time. So what's happening on the back end here is that every time we're scraping a web page for audio, so we have these basically 100,000 or so rabid music fans with the extension installed. This is a small portion of our user base, but these are the most passionate sort of discoverers of music, people who are journeying through the internet trying to find interesting music. So when they browse across it and play it and love it or share it to Twitter or Facebook, we're keeping track of that interaction data, and of course the metadata and the location of the MP3, and we're saving that in a database on the back end, so that then when you search our system later, you can find music that anybody has browsed across. And so we looked at a bunch of other solutions, people who were scraping the entire web for audio, and we found it was, there were millions and millions of tracks found, but only really a small percentage of those were relevant to the people who wanted to listen to music. And so this sort of user-driven, extension-driven scraping method tended to lead to songs that were more pertinent to people who actually wanted to listen. So we try to bubble up music that's relevant using that user interaction data.
We also, of course, included the ability to share any song that you had loved or not loved to the internet or to any of your social services. As you can see here, we have the ability to share to Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook. You also have the ability to plug in your Last.fm settings, so everything that you listen to, either through the extension or through the platform, scrabbles to your Last.fm, which gives you a good image of maybe your favorite artist for the year, what you've been listening to. You can kind of figure out your own music trends from there, which is, I think, a great thing. We've also added in the site player, which is for publishers. It can go onto blogs. It looks much like the extension. It pops up in the bottom here. Sorry, it's a little off. It pops up in the bottom right here, and it will pick up the last 50 to 100 songs on your site. It just allows for people to come to your site, press play, and to continue to browse. It's really a simple JavaScript plugin. You're able to, it allows people coming to your site to share songs to any of their social services, regardless of if they're an XFM user or not. And if they are, they can automatically love songs back to their profile. So it's really just a simple plugin that we were able to offer publishers, and it seemed to catch on really like wildfire. It's customizable if you want to hack it out, and it's color customizable, and it seems to be a great product.
Yep. And of course, if you install this plugin on your website, any music that appears on your website will automatically be findable through XFM, and people could love it on XFM. It could potentially be trending on XFM.
As you can see, when you click a song, the song goes back to our page. It's a great referral for us. It's also like an easy way to store music and come back to it. And as you can see, the link always goes back to the original source. So if you like an artist, you want to know where they came from, you want to know more about them, it's a great way to go back to the original source, learn some more about the artist, follow the link back from there, maybe to their SoundCloud page. Of course, we have a buy link as well, where you can buy straight from Amazon or iTunes. And also there's a little blurb from the original source about the artist, which again, you can follow back.
Cool. Is anybody here going to be participating in the hackathon downstairs later today? Nobody? Is anybody interested in hearing about what data is available through our API and how to use our API? Okay, at least 2 people. Okay, so at ex.fm/API. I would put it up on the screen if maybe you'd want to. ex.fm/API is full documentation of what we provide, but I'll just go through it real quick. We expose basically all of the data that we're collecting. A little bit we don't, and most of the methods of our API you can also access. It's totally free to access. Just ask one of us or ask me for a client ID, and I'll give it to you, and you can start using it right away. There's no friction there. It's very easy to access pretty much any of our endpoints, just directly making curl calls. We also do have a Python client that's on our Exfm GitHub page, and also a JavaScript client. Feel free to use either of those. Like I said, almost all of the resources just require this client ID. A couple of things like the posts to change data, you actually have to be logged in as an Exfm user in order to do it, which means you just create an account, which is, of course, you can do it yourself. It's very straightforward. There's no OAuth or anything funky like that. So the basic data that we provide is URLs of MP3s all over the web, and there's, last time I looked, something like 100 million tracks, so quite a few. Of course, there's a lot of duplicates there, a lot of the same song appearing, but every single URL is unique. And then we have basic metadata, title, artist, that sort of thing. And then we have the user interaction data, like how many users have loved this song, what sites has the song appeared on, how many users are following, or not just how many, but which users are following the sites that the songs have appeared on, and various other information about the interrelationship between the songs on the internet. In a way, it's a map of music on the web. So, and I should say, it's not just like a snapshot. It's this living, growing thing that's being driven by our 100,000 or so extensions that are out there. So we have these rabid music fans who are going out and discovering this music, and as they're discovering it, more music is popping up, and it's constantly churning. I think that pretty much covers the API. If you have any questions about it, please come talk to me, and I will tell you more about it. Is that it?
Yep, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Big round of applause. Thanks very much, guys.